Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Royal Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage. Tonight talk is about role of a lender and market update. We'll give it to you about real estate. Since we're going to talk about the mortgage business, I like to let you know that I am a principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage Inc., license number 13241, license to practice mortgage in the province of Ontario. What is the role of a lender? Lender is a financial institution that lends you money. Anyone who needs the money, they give you the money. And the broker is the one who arranged that loan by working with the lender. And the lender, by definition, could be a private group, could be a bank, credit union, or a private lender. Each one is governed by different rules, federally and provincially. So when you talk about banks, conventional lenders, they follow the Bank Act of Canada, OFC rules. There are big names, Royal Bank of Canada, CIPS, Nova Scotia Bank, you have Bank of Montreal, and CIBC, and National Bank of Canada. They follow very strictly OFC rules. And OFC rules are as such where we talk about the stress test. And when they are asking a borrower is asking for money, they apply those rules. If you have a contracted a rate, they will add 2% as a stress test. Right now, all banks use stress tests at 5.25 because that is the benchmark for qualifying a mortgage under the current rules. The Bank of Canada established key interest rate. And you have seen recently changes that affected people because of interest rate hikes. So if you look at this, because consumer CPI, inflation is now 7%. So therefore, they have changed the interest rate. They want to control the inflation rate. It costs more money than average person to buy the same thing they bought in a most recent month or so. And this is why it's very, very important. The consumer price index is very important to determine what's happening in the market, how it's affecting the economy and cost of goods, particularly buying a house, food, and gas prices. It's affecting the economy. It's costing more to produce. Therefore, the inflation is now 7.7% in Canada. And this is why the bank is planning to change the rate. And they are adding more. They are projecting something in September, October, November, and December. They will be reported by the Bank of Canada, and when they decide whether they increase this or not. This is why it's very, very important for all of you to watch what's going on. You know that gas prices is going up and down. Now they're slightly coming down. And are you able to buy the grocery at the same price that you were doing before? No. So we got lots of financial support and stimulation packages when we went through COVID. It affected the production, revenue for the federal government and provincial government. So now we increase more debt and control the unaffordable pricing of real estate. It has affected everyone. Even though we're going to talk about the decline of the prices and decline of the sales and real estate industry toward the end of the program. Today we're going to talk about it. Why do we need a lender? When we are buying a house, we need a lender. When we want to buy a car, we need a lender. When we need to send our kids to higher education, you need a lender. Or you're starting a new business, you need to borrow the money. So what criteria these lenders will use? If you are dealing with the bank, they will follow OFSI strict rules. They will pre-qualify you, and based on your income, this is why they need to have your notice of assessment, your T4 if you're an employee, or T4A if you're self-employed like myself. They look at your asset, they look and see what are the liabilities are, what is your credit. They look at your credit report to make sure you have the credibility. Even though you are paying a telephone bill or Rogers bill, wireless, they are reported to your credit bureau. If you don't pay them on a regular basis, it will reflect on your credit. So the bank, when they're lending the money, they want to check that. This is their money. They want to give it to you to buy a house or buy a car or start a business or support your kids for higher education. But those criteria needs to be met. So this is why we are very strict about it, to make sure that you are not violating any breach of law by falsifying, modifying, or misrepresenting or missing information when you're applying for a credit, a loan for the money. So this is why it's very important that you understand that the lenders are. Now, if you are dealing with a mortgage loan or line of credit, it all depends on where you are. Most likely, if you already have a mortgage with a lender, it's very unlikely that another lender will give you the money for line of credit or increase your line of credit. You are highly advised to work with the same lender who gave you the original mortgage and line of credit. Challenge that is coming now is that as mortgages and line of credit are expiring, because your mortgage is linked with your home equity line from the same lender or the bank. So when your mortgage is coming renewal, in the past, the bank will send you a renewal with a good term or continue with the same term. But now things have changed because interest rate has gone up. Now, as of today, the variable for mortgage is about 3.25 variable. And 5-year fix is 5.25. And you see how difficult it has become now? You're going to renew the mortgage. How are you going to do it? Do you qualify for that? Is the lender that you have been loyal to them for so long, is he or she, they're going to help you to renew your mortgage at rate that is reasonable? Based on what's going on, you are better off with variable mortgage now, because fixed rate is high, even though we always recommended fixed rate when the mortgage was low. I remember when last year I did the mortgage, mine was less than 1.69 or close to that, 5-year fix. So I got lucky because I knew something is happening. But same amount, if I borrow today with maybe discount and all that stuff, still paying 5%, 1.69 versus 5% is double, triple your monthly payment. And I can't afford the house if that happens. And this is the challenge you're going to have today. This is the challenge, real estate profession, you're going to have when you're securing a mortgage for your client. What happens is most of these mortgages or agreement of purchase and sale that you have secured or commitment for mortgage you have secured few months ago, bank will be sending out an appraiser to go evaluate the property. And if that price has declined, which I'm going to share with you, I did a post today on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter that the price based on TREP, Toronto Real Estate Regional Board, prices have declined, an average home price $187,888 since February to June 30th. 188,000 decline an average home price. That show you that if you have taken a mortgage, and this is an average across GTA, but 416 and 905 area. If the price had declined that much, obviously the appraiser will be not that you get you the same value. So this is why it's very, very important that you will be checking it out. Talk to your lender, talk to your real estate professional, find out the solution, because you may not get the mortgage, or there is going to be a shortfall. How are you going to do that? Now, if this is the situation where you bought a house and you have a shortfall, and it's part of this explaining to your lender scenario is that you will talk to a credit union through a broker. Remember, the brokers are not the lenders. They are facilitated. They will negotiate with multiple avenues available to them. They will talk to various credit unions or alternate banks to make sure you can close the deal. If you have bought a house and you need $100,000, and if you default and you're not able to secure that $100,000, and let's assume that you bought a $1.5 million house and you put down or made a commitment to put down 20%, okay? So you have already put $300,000, and you have more money. And if you have given deposit of $100,000, if you fail on your deal, you will lose that. You have to forfeit it because you defaulted to complete your transaction. The best choice will be to find an alternative lender. In this case, you have two choices. You go talk to your broker or call me. I will tell you where you can get the money. Or you have a choice of going to a private lender. I don't want to lose my transaction, because if I default on a transaction, not only the seller will sue the buyer, but they also sue for any damages in the future. Let's assume they sold in January, February, $1.5 million house to you. And now the price has reduced $200,000. So they are not able to find another buyer who's going to give them a 1.5. They might give them 1.3. That $200,000 shortfall, they're going to be suing you as a buyer for not fulfilling your obligation, and you plus lose your deposit. You have to forfeit that deposit, and you create a problem. So why don't you borrow $100,000 from a private lender or from a B lender and close the deal? That's the best you can do right now, because you have a lot to lose when you breach a contract. You can talk to a lawyer that are competent to give you an opinion. What are the consequences of the failed deal? So this is why it's very important that we talk about this. If you go to talk to a mortgage broker, or you can call me, I tell you that certain thing can be done. So when you are talking to a lender, when you submit an application through the broker or directly, there are loan officers who grant you, or underwriters, they review your document. And they will see how you qualify for certain rules, certain mortgage, and how much you qualify. And if you don't qualify, or your commitment that you have is enough, because if your appraisal came down lower than the commitment the bank gave it to you, they're only going to give you what appraisal came in. So difference, you have to go to a private broker, a mortgage broker who will help you. And temporarily you may need a private lending, because you end up paying a fee, lender fee, broker fee, but it's still worth exploring it, because you cannot lose that transaction, because too much to lose at the moment. So this is why it's very important that how you are able to manage your situation. You can go to the prime lender. If you are in a situation where you are renewing it, you talk to the same bank or same lender to see if they can give you additional money. If not, go to the mortgage agent. Call me and I can help you. Or you can go to express-mortgage.ca, complete your form, send it to me, and call me 416-451-3489. I can help you. Or I can make a referral to you to the people who are specialized in this, to make sure that you are taken care of. Lender, why would they give you money? They have no heart. They want to make a profit. You went to the lender to get their money that they have. Therefore, you have to agree with their terms. And those terms are dictated in the offer. Letter of commitment that comes to you is always conditional, especially when you're dealing with a mortgage broker. We always submit information through our system, origination software, to the lender of our choice, and we try to negotiate and navigate based on your circumstances. But remember, you have the responsibility to provide honest information about your income, your employment, your tax return, notice of assessment, T4As, T4, your ownership of the property, your liabilities, car loans, visa loans, student loans. Disclose all liability to determine. Under our mortgage broker, as you know, we have to do a product assessment suitability and also client suitability assessment. That means we have to know whether client who is seeking and borrowing money is capable of handling that mortgage or borrowing that money that they were asking. They can assess it, and they have to certify. You have a 2 days of cooling period before you accept that commitment. Same thing is a product. Suitability of a product needs to be assessed. The what solution that we are providing to you, also you're satisfied. And this is very important, two segment of a mortgage broker, mortgage agent, or mortgage brokerage that is providing guidance and assessment to help you secure financing. We must make sure the product that we are offering is suitable, and also you understand what is being offered and you qualify. You provide all expenses about yourself, including your travel, the medical, the student loans, groceries and food, education, mortgages, all interest payments, student loans, car payment, everything needs to be assessed to look at your TDS, total debt service, and also GDS, gross debt service. Gross debt service is about 30 maximum 32%. Total debt service, which include all the taxes, property taxes, everything, interest payment, car payment, everything is called TDS, should not exceed 40 to 42%. After that, the bank will say, hey, you are a very high risk, or they will lower your amount of the mortgage you want to approve. The bottom line is that you are the borrower. How much prepared you are to get that mortgage. I have emphasized many, many times, think about it, plan it to make sure you meet the criteria of this OFSI rules, interest rate. You can go to Bank of Canada website and look at their rates, what's going on in the marketplace. This is very, very important. Look at the OFSI rules. You are qualifying at 5.25 benchmark. You go to my website, go to city-pro.net website, go to the buying or selling drop box, select the calculator. Click on this and it will tell you how to calculate your mortgage, how to calculate your budget, how much you qualify. It talks about how much is, your land transfer tax and also your loan-to-value ratio if you are going to CMHC. So if you are a buyer and you are paying less than 20%, these rules are strictly over 20% people, the 20% up, the people paying it. Rules are a little bit different for those that qualify for the less than 20%. They fall into loan-to-value high ratio insurance loans, and CMHC get involved with that. And this is very important. The criteria providing information is the same for all. Yes, private lender don't care about your bad credit or low credit report, or you're bankrupt, or you're on a proposal or anything. Privately will consider your ability to pay the mortgage based on your income, and they lend you money. Those private lending is normally a temporary solution for 6 months or for 1 month or 2 months or 4 months or 1 year. They are not supposed to be long-term because you will be paying lender fees, you'll be paying broker fees, you will be paying high interest rate. And sometimes the rates start from 9 to 12%. And this is why it's very, very important for you to work on your credit. Make sure you have ability to borrow money from a lender, institutions. And sometimes people get excited, they buy multiple properties, and now they want to borrow money, and the bank says, sorry, you have exhausted all the avenue, you can't bargain anymore, and you have maximized your potential based on your income. So when you have a mortgage with the bank and you have other properties and you have borrow money against those property, and they all, when the bank is looking at, the lender is looking at your rate, they're saying, this is your salary income, this is your investment property income, and based on that, they accumulate, they look at the liability, and they also look at your asset. At the end of the day, they will look at the cash flow, how much cash you have, and you have the ability to pay. Even though you can borrow the money, there's a lot of people play a trick. They borrow money against the line of credit. When you draw money from line of credit, that's interest money. And then you try to get another mortgage based on the money. And the bank always tells you have to have a saving for at least 90 days in your account. And lots of people do that. The problem is when the interest rate, the hikes that happen is such a significant, it's affecting people. And if you are not able to renew your mortgage right now, think about selling your property. And we're going to talk about real estate market very soon. And we tell you what's going on. We're going to talk about the average prices in 416 and 905 area for townhome, detached home, apartments, and semi homes. So you will see that you have seen the increase from 2021 to 2022 June, but you will see what's happening in 2022. I put a post on it, I'm going to share with you. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Ent in Canada, around the world. We're going to take a small break. We'll come back and we'll give you market update. Bye. Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Ent. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Realty Institute of Canada and broker of record for City Realty Inc. brokerage. And I'm also principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage, license number 13241. We talk about role of a lender. As you know, your prime lenders are your banks, credit unions, and private lenders, and also secondary market through mortgage agent or broker. I was just looking at the Bank of Canada. They issue report. The next report, monetary policy report, is coming on July 13. And that day, it will decide whether they want to change or increase or decrease the key interest rate. It will affect the market or mortgages being offered in the marketplace by the lenders. So either you're dealing with a prime lender or a B lender or a private lender. You have to make sure you meet the criteria. You have your income, you have your notice of assessment, T4A, T4A or T4s, notice of assessment from CRA, and you have your mortgage statement if you have a mortgage, because if you're renewing it or you're seeking a mortgage, you have an agreement of purchase and sale, a commitment, and you have a deposit that you want to put down, and you have to try to close it as soon as you can rather than extending a longer period of time, because that way the fluctuation of interest rate, if it affects your mortgage, you can control that. So work with the lender or the broker that help you facilitate a smooth transaction. Right now is a very difficult timing for securing a mortgage, especially for the first-time home buyers. You also look at the programs available to you. If you are putting down less than 20%, there are CMHC program, equity sharing program, where you can get some money from there, from CMHC as a part of the first-time home buyer program. You're also going to get $4,000 reduction in your land transfer tax. First-time home buyer, it will go to, if you buy in GTA, it will be more. So this is why it's very, very important to understand the lender. You want lender's money. So what you're willing to do to satisfy the criteria being given to you to secure the funding, whether you're buying a house, buying a car, paying student loan, or getting a home equity line. They all look at your credibility, make sure you're maintaining a good credit record. This is very, very important. Let's talk about the real estate. This is update. We have Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. I'm a member of that board and also a member of Mississauga Real Estate Board and ITSO, where we have 21 real estate board. They put together data. So this is a trap data, and they're showing the sale decline from June 21 to 22, minus 41.4%, minus 41.4% decline in sale last June to this June. New listing has increased by 1%, and active listing have increased 42.5% from last June to this June. You can see that there are more listings now to sell. And our average price is increased from last June to this June 5.3%. In last month, it was higher. Now it's going down, being adjusted 5.3%. Average property listing day on the market is now increased 15.4 from 13 days to 15 days. And then property day on the market increased 41.2% from 17 to 24 days. It's taking longer to sell because it's taking difficulty of getting people to buy it, get them approved. So property is staying longer. So we're going to talk about now sale prices. So you can see the sale have declined. So there is no need to discuss how much is decline in each category, but they are declined. So detached home in 416 is 1.737 million and 905 is 1,361,000. Semi-detached is in 416 1,343,000 and 905 is 987,009. This is the first time I see dropping below $1 million an average semi. Remember, this is across GTA 905 and 416 area with the TREB, Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. But you will have to hire a real estate professional to evaluate your house where it stands today. Townhome, 1,027,000 in 416 and 906,000 in 905 area. And condo, 771,267 in 416 and 692,598 in 905 area. Let's take percentage, year over year percentage of change. So 416 price change 2.4% and same thing happened in 905, 2.4% for detached home. In the semi-detached, price change was 5.9% and 905, 7.9%. They're all in positive category. And townhome was 9.1% change year over year in 416 and 8.3% in 905 area. And condo apartment was 7.4% increase from last year over year, from last June to this June, and 13.2% in 905 area. Now I'm going to talk to you about the actual change in 2022. This is very, very important for you to understand. These are the based on last year figures. They are comparing with the last year. That what happened. This is very, very important for you to understand. That in last 4 years, last 4 months, consecutive month, the price has declined. The highest we have was in February, 1,334,142 was the highest. It went in March down to 1,299,468, and also it went down in April to 1,253,711, and also in May it went down to 1,212,705. In June it went further down to 1,146,254 an average. So technically speaking, for 4 consecutive months, it has declined $187,888 from February to June 30th, 2022 for this year. Therefore, you can see the decline, even though they are greater than the last year in 2021, but they're declining in 2022. So it's very, very important for you to watch my posting. I did a news flash on LinkedIn, social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I share that information you in writing. If you have any question about real estate, please feel free to call me. My number is 416-451-3489. I'd be more than happy to answer your question. Thank you for watching for Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. Bye for now.